Have you all ever been in a relationship, either with a friend or even a neighbor or someone that you love? I know what you're thinking, but if your answer is yes, then you're probably aware that most relationships are not perfect 100% of the time. And in the majority of relationships, or in most relationships, people may experience either issues between one another, or problems, or even conflicts. Now, how a conflict is dealt with in a relationship will determine if the outcome is either positive or negative. And in chapter 12, page 279 of the Interpersonal Communication textbook, DeVito actually discusses the topic of conflict and how it can have both positive and negative effects. And interestingly, DeVito quotes that among the advantages of conflict is that it forces you to examine a problem and work towards a potential solution. If you use productive conflict strategies, your relationship is likely to become stronger, healthier, and more satisfying than it was before. Now, in the movie Singles, made in 1992, it focuses on a group of young adults that live in Seattle during the grunge music era, and each of these characters in the movie live in the same apartment building, which is named Singles, which kind of hints at the name of the movie. Each of these characters have kind of their own relationships with someone, and in these relationships they each have their own issues or struggles or problems. And these are kind of both personal and interpersonal. Throughout the movie, it kind of focuses on how each of the relationships are fluctuating and changing. And in this particular scene that I'm about to show you, it's focusing on Steve and Linda. And Linda had to basically go away or move out of Seattle for a little while because of work-related things, and Steve remained in Seattle, but he was also very heavy into work. So once Linda returned, they kind of felt this tension between each other since they hadn't talked to each other in a while and they've been so caught up with work and everything. So when they meet each other, they talk, and they end up basically not cutting each other off, but cutting off their romantic relationship. So I'm going to show you guys right now.
You know what? We don't have to try and be what we were.
I've been thinking the same thing.
Great.
Friends.
Let's be the first people in history to say it and really mean it.
So as we can see from that scene, they basically cut off their romantic relationship and agreed to be friends. But instead of saying that they're going to be friends and ultimately not ever talking to each other again, Steve makes the observation that we're going to be the first person to say it and actually mean it. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I guess we could conclude from this scene in general that communication is very, very vital in any relationship, either with a friend or a partner, and in any relationship, conflict is going to be inevitable, even between the closest of friends or the closest of lovers. In any relationship regarding the topic of conflict, it matters most how a person in a relationship deals with the conflict, or how they manage the conflict.